What's up guys, I'm Ben. Today we're going to be playing some more SkyFactory, and in this episode we're going to keep going with our achievements. So the first one that we're going to be doing is create a passively cooled reactor from the big reactors mod. And now, I'm not 100% sure how to make these. I think I know what I'm doing, but I guess we'll find out. Okay, so I think the first thing that we're going to need is these reactor casings, which they're pretty easy to make. Just the graphite, which is coal in a furnace, so I will smelt some coal really quick. Okay, so now I get my graphite bars and I am going to duplicate them. Okay, so now we got our graphite bars and we should be able to, oh, I don't have any yellowite or yellorium. Okay, we have one piece. The way you get yellorium ingots is just put the yellorium dust in there. And we get this from sifting sand, I think? Yeah. Okay, I think that probably should be enough, but I'm not 100% sure. Because we need, this is also the fuel for our reactor, so we're gonna need a lot. So now we can make our reactors, and we're gonna need a lot of them, so I'm just gonna duplicate them. I'm also gonna sleep because I hate the rain. Alright, so now that we have our reactor casings, we need a reactor controller, which is fairly simple. And we're also gonna need a reactor access port, I think. Let's get a piston, then the access port. Alright, and then I think we need a what is it called? A power tap? I think that's all we're gonna need for now. I guess we could make it right here. So we're gonna do a 5 by 5 of these. We put in our power tap right here, our controller right here, and our access port, I guess like right here. Alright, and now that we did that, we're just gonna come over here and make a frame, a 5 by 5 frame. Oh, I forgot, we're probably also gonna need reactor glass, just because it looks a lot better than casing. Alright, so now we're just gonna fill in all these sides with reactor glass. And I guess we'll just fill in the top for now. And I almost forgot we need a couple control rods. Alright, so now we're gonna just take right here in the top, we put in our yellorium fuel rods, we run them all the way up to the top, and we place down a reactor control rod, and you can see the texture's changed, and this should be working. If we press on this, yeah, it has all of our stuff, and there we go. Now we need to keep this from overheating, so we're gonna put, I guess we could put like resonant ender in there, because that's a really good coolant for these. So now we go into our magma crucible and put in the ender pearls, and they'll all go into the fluid transposer. We put in a bucket and resonant ender bucket. So now we duplicated them and we have all of our ender buckets, and we're just gonna put in all of our ender buckets. Alright, so now we're just gonna take our reactor casing, now that we filled it up, and put them back. And now you can see that there's all that resonant ender in there, and that just cools it down a lot. Now we're going to take some yellorium ingots, and right here in this access port we put in some yellorium ingots, and you see it took some, and we come in here and press activate reactor. So now it's starting up, and you can see the core heat is going up, but it's going to stay relatively low, around 400 to 500 Celsius. And that's because of the resonant ender. If we put in, say, water, it would be at 2000. So the ender really cools it down. And right here, it's producing 1000 RF per tick, which, have we done that yet, actually? We have, okay. 1000 RF per tick, and that is our passively cooled reactor. There we go. Okay. So I'm pretty sure there's a way to make them with the diamond blocks as the coolers, but I have no clue how. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fill the rest of these in with yellorium fuel rods. And this is going to make it a lot more efficient. Put in this last row right here, and then we put all our reactor control rods on top. And we just, then you need to put in your ender buckets so that way it doesn't overheat. So now that it's closed up, we're going to come back in here and press activate reactor. So now the heat is going to go up a lot because there's a lot more reactors and less resin ender, but it should work good. Yeah, it's 1,500 around there. I don't think it's going to explode just yet because there's not enough rods in there to explode. So next we need to make an actively cooled reactor. So let's get to that. So we're going to need the turbine rotor blade, which is cyanite and cyanite and aluminum. And you just get cyanite like that and 2 pieces of aluminum, give us a turbine rotor blade. And then we need a turbine rotor shaft, which is pretty much the same thing except they are on the different sides. So next thing we're going to need is a rotor bearing, one of these things. And all these are pretty simple to make. And then we're going to need some turbine housing, which, do we not have any nether quartz? I think I can take a block of quartz and put it in a pulverizer. Please? Okay, good. Whew, I got kind of scared. And there we go. We got our turbine rotor bearing. And then next we're going to need a fluid port. Okay. So then next thing we're going to need is a power port, which again is really simple to make. Next up we're going to need a controller. I think it's this one, yeah, the turbine controller. But to make that, I think we need one of these cyanite reprocessors because we turn cyanite into plutonium through one of these. So I'll make one of these right now. Alright, so I think, yeah, we put that down. We get some cyanite, and so I think we just take some of this. We take 2 things of cyanite, and then we take water. So we're going to pick up water from there. And, alright, so we put it in there. Now this has a little bit of water in it. And we put 2 cyanide ingots. I think this is how it works. Again, I'm not 100% sure because I don't really do this mod very much, but I think this will give us plutonium. There we go. Okay. Sorry about that. I just totally forgot how to make it for a second. Okay, so then we just get our turbine controller, and then I think we need just the glass, which we should already have. The reactor glass. Yeah. Reactor glass, and then I think the last thing we need is just the housing. So I'm going to get all this stuff because I accidentally put everything. So I'm going to get all this stuff because I accidentally put everything up, and then I will head over there and I'll show you guys what to do. So I'm going to get all this stuff because I accidentally put everything up, and then I'll be right back and I'll show you guys what we're going to do. Alright, so I guess we will just build this one. Should we build it on top of this or to the side, or I don't know. I guess I'll just build it on top for now. So we're going to start out by doing like the exact same thing we did below, a 5x5, like that, and then we're just going to fill it in and make a frame around it. So now that we are done with that part, and I think I accidentally got the wrong kind of glass. I think it needs to be turbine glass and not a not reactor glass, because we're building a turbine, not a reactor. So I'm just gonna make some of this turbine glass really quick, and then we should be good. Alright, so now that we have a stack of this, we're gonna come back over here and fill it in with glass. These ones are really cool because you can actually see the blade spinning on the inside, as you'll see in a minute. And done. So now that we have all of that built, we're going to come over here to the front, break this block, and put in our turbine controller. So we're going to now go around the back. We're going to break this, and we're going to put in our rotor bearing. And now we're going to put in our rotor shaft, which goes across the entire thing. And now last, we're just going to put in some blades. So we put 1, 2, 3 there, and then 1, 2, 3 there. So now we have our rotor in the middle. And I actually forgot that we need gold. Like, the blades aren't supposed to go all the way to the end. I think we could use electrum in there, but I don't think we have very much electrum. So this is way more than enough. I think all we need is just 8 blocks, because these blades aren't supposed to go all the way to the end. We just surround the end with gold, because it's meant to conduct electricity, because we need a coil in here. And it's really confusing. The coils are confusing, but I do believe if we just put gold like that, then it should be good. It should run fine. And now we should be able to just close this off. And there we go. You can see the texture around it changed. Now it's a multi-block just like this one. So now we're going to just take our power port right here. And this is where we're going to take our power from. Like we could put down some of these energy conduits, and we could take them out and connect them to machines just like this one right here. But I don't think we're going to be using these very much. If you guys want me to switch over to big reactors, because they're pretty interesting to make actually, to find out how they work and everything like that, we could switch to big reactors, because these solar panels, they're not the best source of power, but they're really good just for having, you know. So make a comment and tell me if you guys want me to switch to these, because I will if you guys want. So I actually have no clue how this is supposed to run. I know that this is how you're supposed to make it, but every time I press activate turbine, these don't spin. As you can see, it's putting out a little bit of steam, but it's the turbine fluid port, I don't know. So like you can see generating like a little bit of steam, but the things aren't spinning, and none of this is, you know, filling up. I have no clue how this works, but I know I built it right. I just don't know what the turbine fluid port is supposed to be. As you can see, I've hooked it up to the water and nothing worked. So, I mean, technically I built an actively cooled reactor, because this is an actively cooled reactor. The turbine, it's actively cooled. This one's a passively cooled. This one actually worked, and I don't know why the other one doesn't. As you can see, it's, you know, everything's working perfectly, but for some reason the other one just doesn't want to work. And I've tried researching and I don't know what it is, so I built it though. So I'm going to check it off. Create the maximum sized reactor. No. Create a turbine from the big reactors. That's what we just did. That was a turbine. So I'll make the maximum size reactor next episode. This episode, I guess we're just going to work a little bit on the Age of Enhancement, and then that's going to be it. So first one, replace your old crook with the flux infused crook. So let's look up crook, and we're going to need to make one of these. Obsidian rods, pretty simple to make. And then we need to make some of these flux crystals, which is diamonds and a fluid transposer with destabilized redstone. So let's go do that. You guys already know how this works. We go to our magma crucible, we put in some redstone. Actually, we need to break this because it already has some resonant ender in there. So we break that. All of the redstone should just go into here like that. Then we put in a diamond, and it'll start going in. I don't know how much we need. 200 millibuckets. Okay, so it's not that bad. There we go. So we have one flux crystal, and we're gonna duplicate it, and now we're just gonna make a flux infused crook. And the way we power this up is the same way we power up our armor. We could just put it in there, and there we go. Now we have our flux infused crook, and if you'll see, it doesn't actually even insta break the leaves, but if we press right here, you could see press V to empower, we press V, and then you can see it change colors, and now it just works. It insta breaks like a compressed crook. So there we go. Super easy. Use a Mine Factory reloaded fishing rod to go fishing. These ones are actually so fun. So first of all, I'm gonna need to make a little pond to go fishing in, so I'm going to make one of those right now. Alright, that looks good enough. I just built it off of that little water source that we had over there. And now we're gonna need to make one of these fishing rods. Again, I really loved these fishing rods. They're fun. They're really fun to play with. Alright, so now we just put it like this in the middle of TNT, and there we go. Now we have 24 deck cords, and we just take a fishing rod, and we go like this, and now we're gonna just make a lot of these. So if you guys couldn't tell by the name deck cord and the redstone torch on the end, what you do is you just throw this into the water, you click it, it goes into the water, it explodes, and you get all kinds of fish. So from that one we got salmon, just regular fish, tilapia, an octopus, and a grouper. And yeah, these are really cool. They just explode and give you all kinds of fish. Watch. Oh my gosh, I love these. Put in some more. Wow, I'm about to die. I don't have any of my armor on. And the last one, I'm gonna do this one from a distance. And there we go. We got a bunch of fish from that. We got some catfish, a jellyfish, green heartfish, walleye, herring, carp, mudfish, got grouper, octopus, tilapia, just regular fish, char, and salmon. And that is gonna end off our episode. Use a Mine Factory reloaded fishing rod to go fishing. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sorry for, you know, kind of the boring videos in the past couple days. Hopefully next episode we can make it a little bit more fun and interesting. But anyways, guys, that's gonna be it. Peace out.